Coming up on Hoosier Sports Night, men's basketball opened up Big Ten play over the weekend. Find out how Mike Woodson's Hoosiers fared in their first conference matchup of the season.
And women's basketball also faced their first Big Ten opponent of the season. We have the recap and more. This is Hoosier Sports Night.
Hello and welcome to the Season 22 finale of Hoosier Sports Night. I'm Will Trubshaw.
And I'm Jackson Kinney. And Will, it's been quite the strange year.
Yeah, you know, Jackson, if you had told me at this time last year that Indiana football would be wrapping up a 2-10 season and hiring an offensive coordinator named Walt Bell, as well as hiring Mike Woodson to be the head basketball coach, and then Purdue being ranked number 1 in the country in men's basketball, I don't think I would have believed you.
No, it's quite the roller coaster.
Yeah, it really has been, but let's get into it. Starting off with men's basketball, the Hoosiers began conference play with a strong win against Nebraska. Our Evan Kamiko and Jevin McCoskey have more.
In a game where the offense started slow, the defense was the spark that the Hoosiers needed.
I think our strength of the team right now is defense. Stepping up our defense, talking to each other, getting each other going. I think that's really what helped us coming in the second half.
And the bench is one of the biggest reasons why IU came storming back.
Because the second unit pushes the first unit. And when we have scrimmages, there's been times the second unit has come away with the win.
I think our bench can start on multiple teams in the Big Ten in the country. We have starters coming off the bench. Anybody come off the bench that we can believe in them and trust them to make shots, make plays, be in the right spots. I think that's just what makes a good team.
While the stats won't tell the full story, IU's offense didn't stop shooting.
I mean, shoot or shoot. I mean, I'm going to keep shooting the ball. I mean, I can miss 10 threes. I'm going to shoot the 11th. So.
One of the most impressive things for this IU team, Jevin, is their resiliency.
Yeah, being able to, face a 10-point deficit and then flip that around to be able to win by 13 just goes to show that resiliency. And it all fell on tonight. Anthony Moore and Tamar Bates being able to come in and produce for this team when they needed it most.
We missed some good shots. We had good looks early. Built, I think, a 10-point lead at one time. And so I had to change it up, went to the bench, and our bench was fantastic.
With the win, Indiana improves to 7-1 on the season and will take on Wisconsin on Wednesday. For Jevin McCoskey and IUS TV Sports, I'm Evan Kamiko.
Last night, Indiana lost to number 22 Wisconsin on the road. The Hoosiers still have not won in Madison since 1998. Woodson and the team return home to face Merrimack this Sunday at noon. Follow along with Evan Kamiko and Jevin McCoskey for the latest IU basketball news.
Indiana women's basketball gave up their fewest points against a Big Ten opponent since 2004 when they opened up conference play at home against Penn State on Monday. Our beat reporters Audrey Hausberger and Brett Smith have more.
After all 5 starters scored in double digits and they held Penn State to under 50 points, Indiana women's basketball won their 4th straight Big Ten opener.
I think they scored 40 points, which, our goal is to keep them under 60, so that was great to see. But just continuing to have great communication and putting pressure on them and they have the ball in their hands.
The Hoosiers bounced back from a stinging loss against NC State, but Terry Morin said that their confidence level between that game and this were no different and that they stay consistent in that mindset.
Nothing different. I think that we were confident going into the NC State game that we were going to hit shots. Our job, my job was just completely to support and give our kids confidence.
The team's confidence did not just prove itself on the offensive side of things, but on the defensive side as well.
Which you guys notice we hang our hats on the defensive end, and I think that, we realize that when shots aren't falling, we have to really hone in on our defense. And when you have someone like Nikki heating up the ball and the pressure we put in the solid defense we have, the rotations, the communication is all really important, and I think that was working well for us tonight, and I think we really turned a corner defensively.
Nicole Cardona-Hillary was a threat on both ends of the court, which Terry Morin says could have been the energy she got from seeing her shots fall.
When they see their shot go in, it seems like that does something for them defensively as well. I think everything elevates, when you see that shot go down.
And say Nikki is a shooter, and she can shoot the ball anytime she touches it. she can miss 7. I'll have confidence she'll make the 8th every time.
As IU gets deeper into the season, Morin and her team realize the pressure is building, which they say is something to be grateful for, but not something to pay much mind to.
We did a lot of firsts last year, right? And so I think we are trying to figure out, our staff, but also our players, how to manage the expectations from everybody. And I want our kids to just forget about sort of keep the noise out, keep their blinders on, and just keep doing what we've always done.
For iOS TV Sports, this is Audrey Hausberger and Brett Smith reporting.
Terry Morin and company advanced to 6-2 on the season. Up next, the Hoosiers will tip off against Fairfield tonight at 7 p.m. in Assembly Hall.
The Indiana wrestling team began their December slate this weekend when they travel up to Ohio to compete in the Cleveland State Open. The Hoosiers are 2-0 in dual meet competitions and are coming off a solid performance at the Mountaineer Invitational, which saw 5 top 3 finishes, led by DJ Washington at the 184, Brock Hudkins at 133, and Nick Wilhelm at 197. Washington and Hudkins were ranked 12th and 18th by the NCAA respectively, with teammates Jacob Moran, Caden Rooks, and Graham Rooks being ranked 27, 18, and 28 respectively. The Hoosiers will face off against the likes of Cleveland State and Kent State this coming Saturday with a start time of 9 a.m. With January and Big Ten duels just around the corner, be sure to follow iOS TV's Riley Woodall for all IU wrestling updates.
The men's and women's swim and dive teams ended their fall season on Friday with a home meet against the Cincinnati Bearcats. iOS TV swim and dive beat reporter Samantha Condra has more on their successful season so far.
The Indiana swim and dive team was back home for the first time since the beginning of October as they hosted the Cincinnati Bearcats on Friday. Indiana started off strong, with the women taking first and second in the medley relay and the men taking the top 3 spots in the same event. Relays have been a big emphasis for this team while preparing for the Big Ten and NCAA championships.
We've got big goals. We want to have relays that are in the A final and NCAAs that can contend for Big Ten championships.
Diving helped contribute to the final points by going 1, 2, 3 in all 4 events, with Olympic medalist Andrew Capobianco taking first in all of the men's events. Both teams are also near the top of the Big Ten, which puts them in good position once the season starts to come to an end.
I think we're putting together 2 teams, the women and the men, that can contend for the Big Ten titles and, more importantly, really finish highly at NCAAs.
The Hoosiers aren't used to competing this time of the year, but Luz believes it will make his swimmers stronger.
Hoosiers take this one, but they will have a little bit over a month off before they face a team in the pool again, as they travel to Ann Arbor to face Michigan on January 8th.
For iOS TV Sports, I'm Samantha Condra.
When the Hoosiers start their season back up in January, they will look to push even harder as they approach the Big Ten and NCAA championship meets.
Coming up after the break, we crown this week's Hoosier Highlight Athlete of the Week.
And we have the latest on ice hockey, club basketball, and more. You're watching Hoosier Sports Night.
Welcome back to Hoosier Sports Night.
Joining us in studio for this week's Hoosier Highlight is iOS TV sports reporter Hank Joseph. Hank, who do you have for us?
Thanks, Jackson and Will. I'm Hank Joseph, and our Hoosier Highlight honor for this week goes to junior women's basketball player Mackenzie Holmes. Holmes had a stellar week in leading the Hoosiers through a tough-fought game versus NC State and a win in their Big Ten opener against Penn State. Although the Hoosiers lost to the number 3 ranked Wolfpack, Holmes kept them in it with a 15-point second-half performance and forced NC State into foul trouble all night long. On Monday night, Mackenzie Holmes and the Hoosiers cruised to a 30-point victory over the Nittany Lions as she finished with 16 points, 3 boards, and 2 blocks. Holmes leads a good Hoosier squad in points, rebounds, and blocks on the season. And if Holmes continues playing the way she is, The Hoosiers will look to make another deep run in the NCAA tournament in March. Will, back to you.
All right, thanks, Hank. Appreciate it. She is a stud. Well, the IU Club ice hockey team had an exciting weekend with 2 home ice showdowns against the St. Louis University Billikens. IUS TV reporters Kelsey Dennehy and Ben Fitzsimons have the scoop on the action-packed matchups.
Welcome to the Frank Southern Arena, where the Indiana Cream and Crimson men's ice hockey team just wrapped up their second game of the weekend versus the St. Louis Bills. My name's Kelsey Dennehy. This is Ben Fitzsimons, and we have the scoop for you. So, Ben, what did the game look like last night?
I mean, it was basically the same game as we saw today. It was both chippy, and the penalties and power plays basically made the difference. Whoever was able to capitalize on the power plays, and the first night it was St. Louis, and tonight it was Indiana who took advantage.
Honestly, last night was a little bit of a fluke game. It was good to get the win tonight. Good going in the break off a W. And it was just nice to shove it in Slew's face.
Indiana took a really large advantage today as they saw a 12-3 victory tonight, whereas they saw a overtime loss last night due to a penalty that was taken by Tommy McDonald with 30 seconds left in the game. But they did not hesitate in coming back today as they took a really big lead in shots on goal with 58-17 shots. What do you think about that, Ben?
I mean, it was what they needed after a loss like that. They were on a hot streak. They won 6 straight. They were looking to extend the win streak. They still got the point in OT, but their offense bounced back tonight, and it was crazy. I mean, I saw Jeremy and O'Flaherty. They just had a heck of games offensively, and they were just moving the puck all around the well.
I think it was just good. We really played as a group tonight. We really battled behind everyone. Didn't let anyone take any crap from anyone on the other team. Really defended our team. Really, it's a good team win tonight.
The IU Cream and Crimson men's ice hockey team will be taking a pause for the holidays, but do not worry, they will be returning January 21st as they play the Michigan Wolverines in Ann Arbor. Follow us for all hockey content and make sure you stay with IUS TV Sports.
The Cream and Crimson will take a holiday break until January 21st when they travel to Ann Arbor for a doubleheader against the Michigan Wolverines.
The Indiana indoor track and field teams will start their indoor season on Friday, December 10th with the annual Hoosier Open. The meet will be held at the Harry Gladstein Fieldhouse. One notable Hoosier to look out for this Friday is redshirt senior sprinter Recoy Braithwaite, who was named the Big Ten Track Athlete of the Year last season. Braithwaite ran a 6.63 600-meter dash at the Hoosier Hills Invitational and took bronze in the same race with a time of 6:55 at the NCAA Indoor Championships, which proved he was deserving of his conference-noted honor. Other names on Indiana's teams to watch out for on Friday include junior jumper Paula Fernandez-Sola, graduate student distance runner Cooper Williams, and redshirt senior thrower Maddie Pollard. Make sure to keep updated with the track and field season with IUS TV next semester.
This past weekend, the IU men's club basketball team opened up their season against IUPUI. They played in back-to-back games and looked solid for their first games of the season. Our very own Blake Spillers and Ethan Mazel have more.
I'm IUS TV Sportsbeat reporter Blake Spillers here with forward Breon Kenny of the Indiana men's club basketball team. They just had a tough 2-game stretch here with IUPUI, losing in the first one, but coming in with the win for the second game. Breon, you had 22 points, but you also had some crucial defensive stops to secure that win in that last game. So do you find yourself to be more of an offensive-minded player or more of a defensive-minded player?
Personally, I definitely pride myself on defense. That's what we preach at practice, you know. Just playing basketball for a long time, we were always told that defense wins games, and I truly believe that. So, you know, I could care less about offense. I think I'm going to do what I can to contribute on both ends, but I definitely do pride myself on defense. And it's not just a me thing, it's a team thing. So we all came out that second game, made adjustments, and that's how we were able to pull off the win.
No, I think you could really tell. I mean, they gave up about 21 less points in that second game, so you could,
Absolutely.
The defense definitely turned it up. Now, IUPI, they were a good team.
Right.
They came out, they could shoot the ball well.
Yeah.
What were some of the keys in that second game to come out with a win after losing in that first game?
And you know, going back to that first question, it all just pertains to defense. We made adjustments on their key players. We were able to lock in on them, and then just really lock in defensively. From there, we were just able to capitalize, get stops, and then, you know, come back and able to pull the victory off. So shout out to the team because we were able to definitely pull the victory off. and win the game. So.
All right, Brian, thank you for interviewing with me.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
I'm IUSTV Sports Beat reporter Blake Spillers. Until next time.
After a solid showing, the team has some time off before they play again. Their next game will be on February 5th versus rival Purdue at the Twin Lakes Recreational Center.
And joining us in studio with the Candy Stripe Calendar report is IUSTV sports reporter Noah Harrison.
What's going on in Hoosier sports this weekend, Noah?
Thanks, Jackson and Will. I'm Noah Harrison, and this is what's happening around the world of IU athletics. Starting with tonight, women's basketball squad will host Fairfield at 7 here in Bloomington. Be sure to tune in on Big Ten Network. On Friday, the track and field team will test their legs with the Hoosier Open. This is an opportunity for the Hoosiers to gauge themselves before their season starts in January. The competition starts at 3:45. And on Saturday, the wrestling team will travel to Ohio for the Cleveland State Open. After a successful start to the season, they'll look to continue their momentum heading into eventual Big Ten play. The event begins early at 9 a.m. in the morning. Finally, on Sunday, both men and women's basketball are back in action. The men's team will stay home to host Merrimack as they push for a top 25 spot in NCAA rankings. Tip-off is at noon, and the game will be available on Big Ten Network. The women, on the other hand, will head to Ohio State for a huge conference matchup of ranked opponents. IU will look to stay undefeated in Big Ten play this year as tip-off begins at 7 p.m. The broadcast will be available on Big Ten Network Plus. That's all I have for Hoosier Athletics this weekend. Back to you all at the desk.
All right, thanks, Noah. Before we close out this season, we've got one more thing to share with you.
Let's talk about Will and Jackson, shall we?
It's surreal to have somebody like Will around, and it just makes everything better and just brightens up my day. I'll see him, I'll get a smile. I'm walking on Kirkwood alone, I'll see him filming his stand-ups for all the Ann Ryder stuff, and you just laugh, and you're just like, oh, well, you're back to doing it again, and he's like, yeah, so.
He came about 5 minutes late, and he didn't have his tie on, he had sneakers on, and he was like, all right, let's do this. And ever since then, it's kind of been like, he's this mama duck, and I've been this duckling.
You are just an absolute stand-up guy all around. I have nothing but good things to say about you as a person, as a reporter, as a sports fan, and just as a friend.
I'm sorry that IU football couldn't get you more than 2 wins in the year that you covered them, but nonetheless, I think it was an awesome experience for sure. I mean, covering Tom Allen is an awesome thing. So congratulations and good luck with whatever's next for you. Keep killing it. You got a friend in me for life. Love you, brother.
Jackson, and we're just chasing police scanners, which we thought to be ghosts, and then chasing what might have been actual ghosts later. A lot of ghost hunts with Jackson.
Jackson took one look at me and he said that he had faith in me, and the rest is history. And I think that belief in myself, in who I am, and the belief in everybody else that was in the control room, he believes a lot. He believes in the people that he works with.
Seeing your kind of growth through your college career in sports media and taking the reins over at IUSTV, I think that when Tilka left, he left it in good hands with you there at the helm. So congratulations and best of luck with whatever's next. You can call me, text me, anything you need. I'll always be here for you. You got a friend for life. Congratulations, Jackson.
Will, I always loved coming into tapings and finding out what you thought about the latest sports news and getting your reaction to the latest Cubs game or whatever was going on. Jackson, I can't even touch on how awesome all those nights spent editing and hanging out with you and Evan were. It's such a great time with you, man, and I just want to thank you both for all you've done for the program and wish you your best on your next steps. Cheers, fellas.
Hey, what's going on, Jackson? Tal here. I just want to say I appreciate all the help, all the opportunities you've given me this past semester. Really enjoyed it. I've known you for a couple of years now, and yeah, just wish you all the best for the future, man. Good luck in whatever you do, and also keep in touch, man. See you.
Hey, Jackson and Will. I just wanted to say thank you to the both of you for literally everything you've done. Not only have you guys constantly been working to make sure that the station, the shows are at the best of what they can be, but I know for myself, and I feel like for a lot of people, you're two people that I know I can always depend on, I can always talk to, I can always reach out to you guys.
It's important to remember where we've been the last couple of years and the work that they've done around COVID and all of the restrictions that have been put upon them. It's difficult, but they've done well. And it's important to remember how they've done that. It's been a team process, a step-by-step process. There's no individual part of this program, and there's no individual success. These are team goals and team achievements, and they've been huge and monumental in continuing that process from their freshman year until their senior year and graduation. And
oh man, when Justin Fields got drafted, there's so many great memories we've had. I'm just so happy to have had you in IUSTV, but more importantly, to call you a friend. So thank you so much, and congrats on what you're gonna do next, because I'm sure it's gonna be incredible.
Wow. Well, thank you guys so much for that. And that is our final show of 2021. Thank you to the viewers for tuning in all semester long. And on a personal note, as you just saw, this is the final show forever for Jackson and myself. After 4.5 years, they're finally letting us graduate. There's so many people to be thankful for and to thank for being a part of our journey. But we're almost out of time, so we'll keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, to the IUSTV alums who came before us, Drew, Mike, Jordan, everybody in that video, really. Thank you for being great role models and creating the blueprint, the launching point to take this organization to where we have it now. And to Kenny Smith, Lauren Smith, Galen Clavio, Jeremy Great, just too many names, all the media school professors and faculty who have helped along the way. Thank you so much for your guidance and mentorship. We truly wouldn't be where we are without you.
And to our co-producers, Emma, Evan, and Sean, it's been so fun watching you guys grow, take on these positions of leadership, kind of be that next wave for IUSTV Sports. And I can't wait to see what great things you guys do and great heights you take IUSTV Sports to next. And then lastly, on a very personal note, to my co-anchor, director, and partner in crime, Jackson. We made it all the way from Forest, room 604.
Yep, room 604.
604. Roommates freshman year to now, and I can't really think of anyone else I would have rather done this with these last 4.5 years.
Exactly my thoughts. I think we got really lucky. Not a lot of people can say they're still friends with their roommate, 3.5 years later after that.
No kidding, yeah. And it's amazing. We started out together and we get to finish together too.
Can't believe it. So yeah, close us out. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at IUSTV Sports for our amazing production crew. Actually, behind us this time, I'm Jackson Kinney.
And I'm Will Trubshaw. Hoosier Sports Nite. We'll be back in January. Until then, have a wonderful break.